Good morning. Happy Saturday. Sensational Saturday, I hope, for you. As I promised, I showed you a picture. I said I'm going to be right here in this spot, and I'm pretty close to that spot. There's a place up here just in front of me called the Ocean Patio. Well, at least that's what it was called back in 1964. And in that place, my mom ran a place. Phil, you probably were pretty close because the Safari Motel is about 5 motels away from here. One of my summer jobs growing up was being a doorman over at the Safari Motel with Bud Asher. And so my mom had this restaurant, and I was allowed to come down on the beach, and I could go from lifeguard tower to lifeguard tower in that area, and I could play on the beach. I was about 8 or 9 years old, and along comes this flatbed truck. And they got speakers on it, and they're just putting out a message that day with some enthusiasm and sincerity. And then I started to look and see who was on that truck. Now I'm going to tell you who was on that truck in just a minute, because it goes with the message I want to have today. So John Maxwell has a book called Failing Forward. And in this book, he says goodbye to yesterday's hurts, tragedies, baggage and sinfulness, and things that you didn't do right. If you were on the recap of the team yesterday, you know that I talked about many times people make little mistakes when they're on diet programs and things of that nature. And they give up. They go to another plan. Well, the 55-day best of your life program, it has anything, everything from every angle to help you recover from this. And that's what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about the past things. You know, in this book, John Maxwell says, listen, acknowledge the pain, acknowledge the loss, and then release it. That's step one. Step two is grieve the loss. If you lost something out of it, you made a bad deal, whatever. If you gained a couple pounds on the weekend because you didn't follow the program, that's okay. And then forgive yourself or forgive whoever you have in the thing that helps you, that helped you make that mistake. I met on this beach my hero. One of my first heroes I ever met or knew. Not Superman, not Batman, not the Flash. None of that, not Aquaman. A real live hero. And they say sometimes you're disappointed when you meet your heroes. But the hero I met was far from a disappointment. And the heroes he introduced me to made my life and shaped my life in many ways. Now, of course, locally I had people who were my heroes. My mom was my hero because I saw a woman that worked so hard to raise 2 boys after our father passed away. But this hero told me something on a night I was a senior in college. And I'll tell you that in just a minute. So here I was 8 or 9 years old. I'm down here playing on the beach, having a good time. And here comes this big old flatbed. And we got these bull horns and everything. And they're just blurting out a message. And it's basically the group was Fellowship of Christian Athletes. And there was this guy, and he had a big table, looked like a big massage table, and he put all these people, and he just picked people out of the crowd. You, get up here, you, get up here, you, get up here, you, get up here. And he put him and sat him on this table. He got underneath the table. He did squats with him while he talked about his testimony. It was Paul Anderson, the world's strongest man. He was doing feats of strength that day. And I'm standing there, and I'm just in amazement. And I'm standing next to a man, and I look up at him, and he's got a Chicago Bears jersey on. The Chicago Bears had just won the NFL championship. And I'm looking at him, and I'm talking to him, and all of a sudden he goes up on stage and he talks. I said, wow, that guy just was talking to me like I was a real person. I'm only a little kid. And so he came back down after he introduced the next person, and I said, hi, my name's Tasso. He says, hey, I'm Bill Wade. And I said, oh, I know who you are. Now, I didn't know too much about personalities or sports or anything like that. I do a lot about sports, but I watch a lot of sports. I didn't know what people looked like, but I knew his name because I had watched, that was the first meaningful football game I ever remember watching was the 1963 Bears beating the Green Bay Packers for the NFL championship. And I remember the name Bill Wade. I couldn't believe I was talking to Bill Wade. Well, over the next several years, Bill Wade and I developed a relationship because every year at spring break, he would come down to Daytona Beach, Florida and go up and down the beach on a crusade for Christ. And he would stop in, the first place he would stop in was at the Ocean Patio Restaurant and ask my mother if I could ride with them all day long. In fact, the next day, I followed them. I chased that flatbed down the beach, went past my limits, went by the pier, which I wasn't supposed to go to hear them talk again. Figured I was going to get in trouble. I went that far, so I ran back home, said to my mom, I said, Mom, I just met these guys. I said, when they come back by, can you come meet them? Because I want to ride around with them. Well, my mom met them. She must have had a pretty good feeling about them. And she let me ride up and down the beach with these guys as they told their testimonies and their stories. And then people like John Havlicek was in this group. There's a magician in this group. But Bill Wade became a mentor that day. Bill Wade took me by the hand and walked me through making some big decisions in my life. I didn't think they were that significant until my senior year of college. I'm studying to get into med school. I'm training for the Olympic trials. I'm getting ready to graduate with a double major in biology and chemistry. And I'm having troubles. And I'm in my dormitory room pretty much very disappointed because I've left a lot on the table. And so I said, who can I call? I don't want to call and complain to my brother. I don't want to call and complain to my mother. Who can I call? So I dialed, you'll remember this, guys who were my age, 1-800-555-1212. I asked for Nashville, Tennessee, directory assistance. I said, you got any Bill Wades in your book? They gave me 5 of them. The second one I called. Now keep in mind, the last time I'd seen Bill Wade was when I was 14 years old. So I'm about 18, 19 now. So every person answered the phone, I go, hi, is this the Bill Wade that played for the Chicago Bears? The lady answered the phone and said, why, yes, it is his home. I said, can I speak to him? She said, sure. I hear her put the phone down. She yells up, Billy, there's someone on the phone for you. And I hear a person walk down the steps, pick up the phone, says hello, and I said, Bill? And he says, Tasso. He recognized my voice. My hero had not disappointed me. We had a long conversation that night. One of those conversations would cost you 30, 40 bucks in the old days, paying by the minute, but he called me back so I wouldn't have to pay that. At the end of the conversation, he left me with a thought. He said, Tasso, I know you're challenged, but you got to get over all that stuff because you're better than that. Told me to trust in God. And he said, you can start where you are today and go anywhere you want to go in your life. And by God, he was true. He was true to that word and right with that word. Because I get to speak with you guys from the world's most famous beach. I get to be on a mission to help people be better, just like all my other teammates on this group. And I want you to understand something. The 55-day program to your best life, your best days are definitely ahead of you. Treat your mistakes as necessary lessons you learned. Understand that each lesson brings a certain amount of wisdom to you, so you can understand how blessed you are and understand all the things that you're becoming in this life. Many key people can't achieve success because they build these monuments to their failures. And we continually go back and repeat those mistakes. So today, tear down any monuments you made to an error you made, whether it go from anywhere from divorce to dropping a flat pass in football game to whatever it is, to not eating the right thing on a day and having a chocolate milkshake and french fries instead of having a salad and a nice lean piece of meat. Tear down the monument to those events. And today begin that journey to be the best you that you could be. The 55-day program helps you to accomplish that when you take the little steps. Find your hero today. Is it going to be focus? Is it going to be clarity? Is it going to be planning? Plan prepare, and expect to be your best. One side note today, I want to thank you. All of you who look in on us and send me messages, I want to thank you for the opportunity to do this. And thank you for helping me rediscover the beauty of this beach and the things I can do when I have time off from work to walk around on this beach and enjoy it. And thank you for allowing me to talk to you each morning. God bless you. Have a great Saturday, and I look forward to talking to you guys tomorrow.